Welcome to my channel. My name is Ria, and in this video we're going to talk about a very popular topic, right? And a lot of people ask me that, hey, I don't want to lose weight. I'm fine. My weight is fine, but I just want to get toned, right? I want that definition. I want my belly to go in. I'm thin, I'm skinny, but yet I have this belly and yet I feel like I'm not toned. And what's happening here, right? The person's thin, the person does not want to lose weight, but yet there is a certain amount of belly fat. There is this feeling that I'm not very toned, right? So what's going on here is that the person has a higher body fat percentage. Now, before we move into what this is and what one can do about this, right? Some tips that we can change our body composition. I do request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. And I also have a workout channel where I post exercise videos that you can do from home. And if you're interested, you can check that out. The link is in the description box below. So let's talk about this higher body fat percentage. So this is very commonly known as skinny fat, right? Small in size, no weight to lose as such, but this lack of definition, lack of tone, and sometimes a slight belly as well. So essentially in this situation, what we need to do is change the body composition, right? And what I mean by that is change the ratio of the muscle that we have to the ratio of the fat that we have. Our bodies have both muscle and fat. Now, this is an oversimplification for this video, but that's how it is. We have muscle mass and we have fat mass. Now, for a person who is thin, skinny, yet not toned, yet feeling like they have a slight belly, the body fat percentage is high. So we want to reduce the body fat and we want to up the muscle mass, right? And this can lead to feeling more toned, feeling like, okay, there's some strength, that sort of thing. So in this video, I am going to focus on 5 ways in which we can build muscle. And muscle is important, right? Why is muscle important? Muscle is important for a lot of things. One, it helps us move, it gives us strength, it gives us posture, all those things. But from this perspective of body composition, the more muscle we have, the more likely it is that we'll be able to reduce our fat. And in this case, we don't want to lose weight, right? We don't want to lose weight. What we want to do is reduce the fat and up the muscle. So for this, I would say the most important thing is strength training. Right now, this strength training can take many forms. One of the ways in which strength training works is by lifting weights, right? If you're skinny, if you're feeling like you want to get toned, and if you want to build that definition without losing too much weight, focusing on weightlifting is a great thing. If you don't want to lift weights, if that's not your thing, if you don't like to do that, then you can focus on other strengthening exercises, right? Body weight works as well. Anything that tones and strengthens the body. If you are, if you prefer slightly lower intensity but higher burn workouts, you can do something like bar or Pilates. They will also lead to a more toned body, more muscle, right? So the first tip is to do strength training. Weightlifting, ideally. If that doesn't work for you, body weight training. If you feel like that's also not your thing, you don't like to do it, then maybe something like Pilates or bar. All these things can work, but that is the most important thing to do. Now, as we do these workouts, as we lift weights, as we lift our body in body weight training, right, muscles will start to develop. So we'll have a higher muscle to fat ratio than before, and that can eventually lead to reducing the fat because muscle is metabolically active, right? And what does that mean? What does it mean when I say muscle is metabolically active? Muscle burns calories, right? When you're sitting on your chair, when you're sitting on your sofa like I am right now, if you have muscle will consume calories. It requires energy, right? So the more muscle you have, the more your body metabolic rate will be, the higher your body metabolic rate will be. Now, the body metabolic rate or basal metabolic rate is the rate at which your body burns calories. So your body can be, really slow at burning calories, a low BMR, or it can be a machine that just burns through all the calories, right? High BMR. So if you want to increase your basal metabolic rate, if you want to burn more calories just sitting around on your couch or watching TV, or just reading a book, then you need to increase your muscle mass, and that in turn can lead to fat loss, because if you're eating the same and you're building muscle, the muscle's consuming the calories. So in a way, more calories are being used and fat will be burned. And another advantage of lifting weights or doing strength training and toning workouts is that when you go on a calorie deficit, when you start cutting your food, if you are weight training, if you are lifting, then the body will not lose its muscle. So yes, I know I'm very communicative about this point, but this is the most important thing if you want to start changing your body composition, lower your fat, and up your muscle. The second thing is diet. Right now, diet is the second pillar of this. Now, diet is as important as exercise. I would put exercise one level higher for this purpose, for building muscle, but diet is extremely important, right? If you're somebody who's under eating, if you're not eating enough of the right things, and I will talk about what those right things are in just a moment, then it can be difficult to build muscle, right? Because if you're eating too little, then you will not have that energy to build muscle. To build muscle, you require extra calories, right? Muscle is something that you're building. To build something, you need the raw materials, you need the raw resources, and that comes with food. So what kind of diet? There are three important things to consume. Protein, right? Lean protein. This includes things like lean meats, lean chicken, lean fish. If you're vegetarian, then Greek yogurt, egg whites. If you're vegan, then protein powder, tofu, but protein, right? That's very important. The second thing to consume is complex carbohydrates, right? Not all carbohydrates are bad. Not all carbohydrates will lead to weight gain. And especially when you're lifting, carbohydrates will just help you, right? They will help you, give you that energy to lift or do strength training or body weight training or whatever it is you're doing. So complex carbohydrates. Now this includes things like oatmeal, sweet potatoes, brown rice, that sort of thing. The third thing to include in your diet are healthy fats, right? Fats also don't make us fat, right? Contrary to what a lot of people think, fats will not lead to weight gain, especially the right kind of fat, right? It's different if you're eating things like margarine and fried food and all that stuff. But if you're consuming healthy fats like avocados or nuts or seeds, that sort of thing, that's actually good for us. Fats have a lot of vitamins that our body needs, right? And a lot of vitamins are fat soluble, which means they require fat. For example, vitamin E, vitamin K, vitamin D, all fat soluble. And our body needs fat for a lot of things, right? For our hair, for our skin, for our cells, so many things. So fats are important as well. So another thing that's important with this is to consume adequate calories, right? Calories are extremely important, especially when you're looking to change your body composition. You want to eat the right amount. And this right amount will vary for each person, right? It will vary based on your gender, on your activity level, on your goals, on many things. So I'm not going to give you a number because that number is going to be different for everybody. What you can do is use these free apps that are available or websites. There are lots of those these days, and just feed in your numbers, your weight, your height, your goals, and that will give you your adequate calorie requirement. Now, after you have that, you want to track your food, right? And why should you track your food? Just to know how much you're eating, right? It's not that, oh, you can't go over your limit or you can't go under your limit on certain days. It's okay to eat extra or eat less on different days. That's just normal. But what it does is it gives you an idea of how much you're consuming. So that's diet. Now, some things to be mindful of while you're making this effort is more real foods, more unprocessed foods, more whole foods, less processed foods, less foods with 100 ingredients in them, and less sugar and things like that. Now, the third important thing is cardio, Right now, I know if you're already very slim and you're just looking to tone up, strength training with the proper diet can be enough. But I like to include a little bit of cardio, right? And the reason I like to do that is because cardio is not just about weight, it's not just about fat, it's also about your overall health, right? So nothing too strenuous, right? If you're just looking to tone up, then you may not even need cardio, but simple things like walking, right? Now I've included that in cardio. Walking maybe 5,000 steps, 10,000 steps daily, that can be a form of cardio. Or if you don't have time for that, right, because walking that much does take up time, so what you can do is do maybe morning walks twice a week, or low intensity steady state cardio twice a week, 30 minutes. Or if you want, you can even do high intensity interval training twice a week. HIIT can actually help retain muscle mass. So cardio is important, not just from a weight loss, fat burn, body composition point of view, but for the overall health of your system. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is sleep, right? Sleep is something that's often overlooked, right? It's often overlooked because we think, oh, how's that going to affect us? But it really does. Because when you're weightlifting, when you're doing toning workouts, when you're doing body weight workouts, you're working the muscle, right? You're working the muscle, and in a way, you are inducing fatigue, you're inducing stress on the muscle. And the only way muscle builds and grows stronger is with rest, and usually this happens when we sleep. So sleeping is important. It's during sleep when our body repairs and regenerates, so sleep is extremely important. I made another video on how you can optimize your sleep. It's this one right here. I'll put the link in the description box and you can watch that if you're interested. So sleep is extremely important. And now the other thing that's very important is rest, right? I see a lot of people, including me, I've done this, of over exercising, right? Of doing too much, right? Lifting a lot of weights, or going to the gym twice a day, lifting twice a day, that sort of thing. And that's not required, right? Weight training can be something that's done 3 to 4 times a week. Cardio can be something that's done even once or twice a week, right? So that thing of overworking yourself does not usually bring better results. Sometimes it can even sabotage our efforts. And in this point, I'd like to say what we need to do is rest adequately, right? Not overtrain, not do 2 sessions a day, not do something that's so drastic, but do it with a system, do it with a program. And rest should be part of the program and system, because when you rest, your body will recover, right? And sleep is one form of rest, but otherwise also when we work our muscles need rest from working out as well, depending on the intensity of your workout, of course. So these were the 5 tips I would give if you want to change your body composition. If you're slim and thin but you still feel you need to tone up and strengthen up, then these are the 5 tips I would give. I hope you enjoyed this video, and the reason I did this video is because a lot of people do ask me, how do I change my body composition? I want to be lean, I want to be toned, I don't want to lose weight, I want to lose my belly, but I don't know what to do. So here are some things that you can do that I've covered in this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe to this channel, and I will see you now in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.